what did you think about the language barrier here? Because I teach English,
Sure.
but unfortunately, less than 5% of Brazilians are actually fluent in English.
I would even thought it was less.
Yeah, it is less. It is less.
I
But
would have thought it was like 2%.
Yeah.
I think the only times I meet people here who are fluent, usually they're working in some like corporate job that probably works internationally. So then they have to learn English because, for me, I use a translator app. So I'll write something down and say, oh, and I show it to them and then they like will translate. So I'm used to it because I travel to so many places and some places more or less, like in Poland, a lot of people spoke English.
right.
I think there's a really, really high percentage of people there speaking English.
Yeah.
In Istanbul, not so much. Maybe I'd say 30% or something speak enough English. So yeah, for sure. Like I can't have conversations with people. A lot of times, even when fans see me, they want to talk to me.
And you
And I'm
can't.
like, I don't speak Portuguese, but they still want to talk.
I have a funny story. When I moved to the US, I was already fluent, but I made some mistakes. It wasn't as fluent as I am now. But I was saying to you, like English, I think is one of the easier languages out there because Spanish and Portuguese, we have gender for everything.
This is crazy.
It's crazy. We say he, she. So I have a funny story because I was living in the US and my phone broke and I went to fix it and I was calling it a he.
Right.
Because we say ele quebrou, but it's not he in the US. In English, it's it. It broke. And then the guy was like, do you talk to your phone? Like, is he your friend? He said, I was like, oh, sorry, I'm from Brazil. I make some mistakes because we have gender for everything. Yeah, English is simpler.
Oh, yeah. And also, too, the thing is like, you guys have gender, but there's no like I don't know what the logic is. It's just like sort of like people just picked that this is a he and this is a she. And it's like, maybe I could think if there was some sort of logic behind maybe something, everything that's inside is like she or like everything outside is he. But I don't even know what the logic is. Like, how do you even figure it out? Like you have to actually literally learn not just the word, but is it a he or is it a she? Is it a feminine or masculine?
Yeah, you have to have a lot of exposure, right?
And it's also interesting in Portuguese that, like, let's say, for example, someone says, thank you. The women say, obrigada.
Right.
And the men say, obrigado.
Yeah, that's usually, if you're going to say, like, is there a logic? If it ends with A, it's for females. And if it ends with O, it's for males, for men. So a guy would say obrigado and a lady would say obrigada.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's also because the word thank you isn't an object. Right.
Yeah.
It's like it's a feeling, it's a gesture.
Right.
Whereas like, but then if I'm talking about the bowl, well then the bowl is what? Bowl is
This would be pote.
pote.
There is a gender. I would say o pote.
Oh, pote.
Yeah,
so it's masculine.
Yeah, it's masculine. We wouldn't say a pote.
Right.
So it's funny.
Pote.
O pote.
So the idea is like you have to learn that beforehand to know that it's masculine.
Table would be a mesa.
Right.
And it's feminine. Weird.
Right. And we don't know why. It just
there are some things like that's why I teach my students as well. Like even with English, there are grammar rules, but it's probably half of the language. The other half is exceptions. So exceptions is just like it's like that because that's what it is. You just got to figure it out. Yeah. So it's tough. But it's also funny because Brazil has one of the highest numbers of English schools and courses.
What?
Yeah, one of the high numbers of.
Oh, and
nobody speaks English.
That's
it's
crazy.
a scam.
That's crazy.
It's a scam. There's so many English schools, and
I mean, it kind of would make sense to a degree, but maybe if people aren't using it, right? Because it's like it's probably has something to do with. Usually, the Brazilians I met travel within Brazil,
right?
So they're not really even having the opportunity to use it in the same way. Let's say in America. We learn or are supposed to learn Spanish as a second language.
Right.
So you have a minimum of like 2 years that you'll probably take in high school. And I've done many years of Spanish, but I don't know. I can't speak really much Spanish because I never use it.
You don't get exposure.
You don't get exposed to it. So if you were in, let's say, as an example, you're European, well, you have many people who are traveling and the only language you're going to use as a crossover is English.
Right.
Whereas here, it's like, when do people ever get the opportunity to even use it?
Right.
And so even if you're learning it, if you don't use it and you don't have plans to travel, it sort of becomes pointless.
Well, that's the thing. And that's what I tell the students, because we have that disadvantage. Like we don't have people speaking English here. That's why you need to create an environment where you consume TV shows or books, and in English, you create the environment so you get exposed to English, because it's hard if you don't do that.
You know, they often say like necessity is the mother of all teachers. Like if you don't have the need to use it, then you just won't.
Right. But I would say Brazilians have the need, because it's already proven that jobs here in Brazil, if you are able to speak English, you get a higher salary, for instance.
Oh, okay.
And you can get better jobs when you have English. So I would say like you need it. Like you might not need Mandarin because you're American and you're probably don't need it, but a Brazilian, you definitely need English.